Hey everybody, G4 Video 5 here, and welcome back to some more Grand Theft Auto Vice City, the Definitive Edition. In this part, we will be completing the mission 2-Bit Hit for Avery Carrington.
Tommy, this is Donald Love. Donald, this here is Tommy Vercetti, the latest gunslinger to come to these parts. Now, Donald, you just shut up and listen, and you might learn something. Now, nothing brings down real estate prices quicker than a good old-fashioned gang war. Except maybe a disaster like a biblical plague or something, but that may be going too far in this case. You getting this down, you four-eyed prick? Now, recently a gang lord died. You disguise yourself and head on down and crash the funeral. Mix it up and then hightail it. You getting this down, Donald? Well, that ought to put the coyote in the chicken coop, huh? And then we'll just sit back and watch the prices tumble.
So there's a bit of interesting trivia for this mission, and we'll start off by talking about Donald Love, who appears in the background of that cutscene as the apprentice of Avery Carrington. And he seems to be taking this apprenticeship very seriously, because there's a line that Avery says right there where he goes, "Now nothing brings down real estate prices quicker than a good old-fashioned gang war." And that is incredibly similar to something that Donald says to Claude in Grand Theft Auto 3 during the mission Wakagashira Wipeout, which coincidentally is also a mission where the protagonist has to go after a gang lord of some kind. And so I think that's pretty cool that we get to see the source of something Donald says, because Donald is a very wise person, or at least he comes across that way in Grand Theft Auto 3, so he seems very meticulous with his words to where each word kind of matters. You know, he wouldn't be saying something for no reason, so I find that very fascinating there. Now, speaking of dialogue, the dialogue in this version of the game has been slightly altered compared to the original version's dialogue, as the original version's cutscene had Avery Carrington saying Haitian gang lord rather than just gang lord, and Rockstar really painted themselves into a corner by naming two gangs here on Vice City West, the Haitians and the Cubans, and so it led to a bit of awkwardness at times in mission dialogue and whatnot, and it also resulted in a lot of backlash to Rockstar. And so in later releases of this game, including the Definitive Edition version of the game, dialogue has been changed to be a bit more friendly there. And it makes sense, because in Grand Theft Auto 3, you had gangs named the Southside Hoods, the Diablos, so you weren't really going after anybody in particular too much. But when you just say Haitians and Cubans, I mean, it's highly questionable right there, and so that's why there's a bit of desynchronization during that cutscene, because they've taken out some of the dialogue that Avery says to where he just says gang lord now instead of Haitian gang lord. And speaking of both of these gangs, you can actually see them periodically fighting around the streets of Vice City West, which is always entertaining stuff. I've always liked when the AI fight each other. But anyway, that wraps up this part, and that also wraps up Avery Carrington's mission strand. This was his last mission that he offers us.
Hey Leo, I got some work for you.
This ain't Leo.
Hey, if Leo knows you got his phone, he's gonna kill you.
Maybe Leo's already dead. Maybe I killed Leo and took his phone. Did you ever think of that, prick?
You kill Leo? You must have big cojones. Wanna work for me? Stop by my father's cafe in Little Havana, and we'll talk mano y mano.
So before taking missions from that guy, in the next part we will be doing the next Colonel Cortez mission, which is called Sir Yes Sir. So until then, I will see you next time.